morning, everybody. The time is 8:20 on April 5th. I'm going to remind everybody to do a parasite cleanse at this time. We have a lot of disembodied spirits out there who need a warm body. If you feel twitching in your body, that is them trying to gain a host and then take over your personality in the dream state to be seen as you. I suggest bloodroot, wormwood, a DMSO cream of 70% with that mixture on the outside. Be very, very careful. You can throw your parasympathetical nervous system off, which will make your temperature fluctuate. The first time I did this, I felt like I was dying, but I got rid of a lot of this stuff. So it's this is a last-ditch effort, and these entities, these parasitical entities looking for a warm host, are these twitches in the body, and they're trying to dump lustful energy into your body and your mind. This is Satan's last-ditch effort to take over your personality. So there is, let me go get it. Now, this kind of warfare is very, very delicate, okay? On the inside, these are pretty good. You don't have to really worry about hurting yourself with this as long as you follow the instructions. This is a very good product. You take that internally. Externally, with the 70% DMSO cream, you can put a few drops of this in it and a few drops of this in it. And then rub that onto your calf area, in your legs. Once again, be very careful. Do your research. Start out with 1 drop each if you're going to do that. That's what I've been doing, and I'm not a doctor, so be very careful when you're using these things. It can really hurt you, okay? But the goal and the intention is to get rid of the parasites that are twitching in your muscular structure, okay? Somebody out there said that if a house is too warm, that means demonic possession, and I'm here to tell you that that's wrong. It's when it's too cold. They suck the life force out of you, and then that's what that is. But there's other people out there spreading false information, saying that if a house is too warm, that's what it is, and that's a lie. That being said, I'd like to find out how this infestation is going with the collective, and if these entities that are trying to take over your identity will be successful. Let's look at that. Collective energy, please, Spirit, on this parasitical infestation. How is it going to go for these clones, these disembodied clones, and demonic entities who have been taking over the bodies and personalities of people and separating them? You know, this is why a lot of you, you can't remember your dreams. You can't remember your dreams because these ones have harnessed your identity and posed as you in that space. But you are here claiming that space once more. You've risen through the disconnection, and you have presented yourself authentically in this space, and they desperately want you to be seen as something that you are not. And they desperately want to take over your personality and say, you're a demon, but you're not. You're fighting this. And so anybody coming in saying that you're demonically possessed is a liar. You are fighting them, yes, but they are not you, okay? And you're not going to give up your identity in that space. People may, there's different dimensional realities. We've got the physical, the one of the flesh. And, in the previous cycle, many of us were disconnected from our identity while others posed as that in this other realm. And you're here to claim that back. And they are desperate to see you or to have you be seen as an imposter after you've been doing all of this great work. It's a battle. And people will be fooled. And people will not be fooled. And we're just going to have to wait and see how that turns out. So let's get a read on it. How is that going to turn out for the infestation, wanting once again to disconnect the true Christed beings from their personality, these good works that they've been doing in the astral. Are they actually going to be successful claiming this identity once more? Spirit, please remove all interferences and let this be told accurately according to the Most High and the Most High Divine, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Creator. Please be with me now. And remove all negative interference and let the people know how it's going to work for them. Will these parasitical entities once again claim their identities, having them be seen as something vile? Okay, so in the central energy, we've got a tower in the reverse. Okay. So yeah, they're having a fear of change. They don't want to fall out of your identity, this identity that they've been harnessing. And you know, you've been doing, the mother is doing great work over there. She's kicking the shit out of these people. And they're desperate to have her be seen as though she's demonically possessed. Okay? They're trying very hard to avoid a personal tower. They're very restless, and they're bringing this restlessness into the physical body as a parasitical infestation. In the challenge position, please, Spirit, the devil. The devil. The devil is trying to delay a tower, trying to avoid it, and this is your challenge. They're entering the physical body as a parasitical infestation, and they're trying to take over your personality, or they're trying to have people have you be seen as them. In the subconscious, please, Spirit, it's a battle. It's a battle, and they can see that you are here standing up for yourself. You've got your boundaries up, and you're not giving up. It's like, damn it, devil, this is my life, this is my body, this is my identity. You can't just come in here as a freaking clone, parasitical entity and then take over my identity in the dream state, in the astral state. That's not right. So you're standing up for yourself. This is the competition between the seen world of the flesh and the dream world of the spirit. Okay? They're really messing with you on all levels. In the recent past, yeah, you came up through the man, you probably fought with Leviathan, and they were sucking the life force out of your body and then wearing it in the astral and presenting as you. There were many clones wearing your mask, doing vile things, lustful things, trying to be seen as you. Now the Most High God got rid of all of that, and the Mother Divine is here as well. Okay, shining her light very, very brightly. And somebody is trying to latch onto this and to be seen as this while switching positions with her. Okay? Intentions, expectations, please, Spirit, of this star, of this mother, and the devil. What's going on here? Wow, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So there's fear. Yeah, they're trying to cast an illusion over the star. They're in fear of this star and the mother and what she's going to be doing. So they're trying desperately to have her be seen as though she is something else. Why? Because they want her 9 of Pentacles. They want her life of authority, and they want the reward that comes with it. So they're having anxiety, and they're trying to cause her anxiety in the flesh, and they're trying to get her into the fear state and to accept this lower vibrational thing here. This tower. They want her to accept it. The thing is that you're not accepting it. You're not accepting it. You're like, no, I'm not going to take your tower, devil. Who's here challenging you. You've got your boundaries up, and you're like, no, 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 I'm the star. And they're afraid of it. They're trying to pump in fear energy, and they want her desperately to be seen as a devil. In the near future, please, Spirit, what's happening with this? The 7 of Swords. In the reverse, they're going to come clean. They're going to confess is what they're going to do. These are lazy, malicious, deceitful beings, and they're going to get caught. They're going to rethink their approach, and they have been. Okay, so in the lens that's being looked through, please, Spirit. Battle. It's a battle. They're desperately trying to steal the identity of the mother so that they can mislead the people once more, so that they can take the wealth from them and lead them down a path of incoherence, you know, twisting their sexuality into very lustful, deceitful, disgusting work, rather than allowing them to be in love and in that star shining light brightly. They want to stop the Golden Globe, so they're trying to get the mother to be seen as though she's demonically possessed. They're right there doing it. In the environment, please, Spirit, what's going on with this? Diligence. Diligence. Everybody's working real hard here. See, you have high standards. You have high standards. Whether you are the mother or the father, you are together there in the astral space. You might not be together in the physical space, but you are there together, and you're working very diligently, and you got high standards. You're mastering yourself. And these ones want to come in and pose as though they are that. They're fighting for it. But they're going to get caught because they're malicious, deceitful, lustful energies, and they present themselves as though they're perfectly angelic. And I'll tell you something, when somebody has walked the path of mastery, they're not going to show up perfect, okay? Because they've got a lot of injuries that they've had to overcome. They've got a lot of scars emotionally and physically. It's just the way that it is. They may have, you know, dental issues because of all the bad magic that was done to make them lose their teeth. They may have tattoos because they wanted them to be seen as though they were unworthy. So they were probably driven in the previous cycle to get them. And I'm not saying tattoos are bad. Tattoos are a story that we wear on our body. There's nothing deceitful or evil about them. It's our story. But they want to vilify them, your story, and say, you know, that it's evil. Hopes and fears, please. The lovers together. So this is what you hope for. You want the strength of two together, and you want to hold on to that. You don't want your divine masculine or feminine to wind up with a freaking clone, a false angelic person, which is going to drag them down and get them disconnected also. You got to stick together. You want to stick together. This is what you want to do, but you're battling this devil who's trying to get you to be seen as though you're lustful and demonically possessed. What's the outcome of this, please, Spirit? 10 of Pentacles. You're going to come into your inheritance. And the thing is, you're blessed with wealth and abundance, and you share that. The mother and the divine father, they offer forgiveness, and they offer their dharma to the children, to the community. This is what they do with their inheritance. And these devils, they go out there and they flash and flaunt and tell everybody how great they are, when the mother, the true divine, tells others how great they are. We've got working together. Those who are working in the dark against these couples, they are going to be, they're under judgment here. The Queen of Swords knows the truth. It could be the Empress in this energy, or it could be a helper. And very quickly, look, balance is restored, and the wealth is going to be shared in this new beginning. Yeah. The Queen of Pentacles, the Empress and her Queen of Pentacles energy is going to be offering a lot of opportunity for people. These ones, these devils, they won't do that. They're going to come in and they're going to laugh and they're going to have a great time about how they got one over on people. But, you know, this isn't an illusion for the Queen of Pentacles. She's offering a lot of opportunity. Everything that you've been wishing for, she wants to give to you. And it could very well be also that those who have been running a deceitful adventure against you will be having a painful ending. Because your hard work is going to persevere and you will get your freedom and your marriage. And this is the end of the cycle. This is the end of that abusive relationship, because the Empress is standing here firmly saying, thou shalt not pass, devil. Thou shalt not have my identity, devil. She's claiming this, and she's disconnecting these people from it. Absolutely the frick not. Now, when I say devil, I don't mean underworld, because the Satan is they're trying to portray themselves not only as the angels, but as the devils. And see, they're here in the middle ground, and they're trying to claim that they are the upper and the lower, and they're trying to command everything here in the middle world. What they do is they last cycle they won, and they disconnected everything, and everything has been brought back together. The Empress and the Emperor have survived. They've walked through this life path, 22 life path of the Hebrew tree of life, and they're wounded, but they're strong and powerful. And these ones want to come in and interfere with that. And lust will be the downfall. Lust will be the downfall. This is a last-ditch effort. And the other last-ditch effort is to try to parasitically infest the house of flesh, and then have the actual Empress or Emperor be seen as this. Okay, it's a facade. It's a facade. So you got to do your parasitical cleanses. You got to unalive those little things and get them out of your house. So we've got the Tower here in the reverse. It could be that you're avoiding a tower. You're not going for it. You're holding it off. You're holding it off because you understand what is happening here. You absolutely understand. This isn't your first rodeo. You've been at this for over 2 decades, most of you, all of you, maybe your whole freaking life. This is an ongoing adventure, but this is the end of the cycle, and they're trying to claim your identity and your wealth. Some of you, you've gone through such trauma. You have earned great dharma, and you have risen in the ranks of God. And Goddess, Mother, Father. They've seen you as successful, and you've got this devil coming in trying to compromise your situation deceitfully. You know that your challenge is the devil. They're very toxic with their behaviors. Yeah. Hope in the reverse. Your challenge is this devil is trying to take away your hope, your union. They want to take it from you. But you're standing up for yourself here. And people are talking. People are talking. You're protected here, and people are gossiping about it. You know, you got these doppelgangers, these clones out there pretending to be you. You're the star. You're this fabulous energy. And you know, if you go cold in the middle of the night, what they're doing is they're harvesting that energy, and they're dressing up in it, and they're trying the angel fire, and they're trying to present themselves as you. So you got to do what you got to do. Get those parasites out. You got to close the gates. If you're using marijuana or alcohol, that's opening those gates up and allowing this to happen. You really have to be careful there. Look, they're trying to sabotage the star. They're trying to get the star to sabotage themselves. They're in fear, and they want this wealth. But they want to mend the connection, or this connection has been mended. They're afraid. They want to mend the connection. They're afraid. They want to mend the connection with this Nine of Pentacles. See, they've been dressing up as these stars and suns, and they've been having a gay old time with all this wealth, leading people down a path of destruction and lack. So they're going to be exposed. They're going to come clean. They're going to confess. They're going to get caught. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do about it. So all they know is to fight. All they know is to fight for your personality. They're in competition for your personality. You know, there are many different dimensions, and you may not know yourself in all of these dimensions. You know, people demand that you tell them who you are, and it's like, you know, they don't understand that there's been these people, when they won over your personality in last cycle, they did everything they could to disconnect you from yourself in the dream world, and they made you serve them while they left you in a flesh suit of and a life of lack. You know, a complete mind F. Runner. So we've got this, they're fighting with you, and we've got a runner, and I don't want to run anymore. It's like, you're not running away from this. You're not afraid. You're not fearing these people. These parasitical entities, these clones. You're working very hard. You're working with high standards. It's like, look, I'm the star here, and I'm not letting go of my identity. I want my kingdom spouse in the flesh. Look, we've got reminiscing in the jokes. So you're working very hard to get rid of these people who were laughing about taking over your thing. You're working real hard at it with diligence. It's like, guess what? This is my life, and this is my future. Escape. So these two are going to escape, is what they're going to do. It's a deep love. It's not lust. Love is of the heart. And for many of you, you had your heart chakra blocked off, and your throat chakra. You've had your third eye, like they placed black tourmaline shards in the third eye to try to take away your sight. It's a terrible thing that you went through a lot of torturous acts in the astral so that they could subdue you and use you as a commodity. You've got this wonderful inheritance here, and it's inheritance that the divine, masculine and feminine, are sharing in their communities, because that's what love does. And they don't run around with a freaking camera crew every time they want to do a good deed for the community, okay? Wearing their fancy high heels and their high expensive dresses. People who are the actual stars have been left in places of poverty, and they don't have the wealth to afford all this stuff. Thieves do. So what's the outcome for this, please, Spirit? The truth has been revealed, and these people are unsatisfied. They're unsatisfied with the truth. Or, the truth has been revealed, and what? People aren't happy with the way things are going. People are not happy with the way things were going. But this is how it's going now. The truth has been revealed. Everybody knows how the 3D world has been presented to the people, and it's been a lie by posers, and they're trying once more to get that and take that from you, and then to put you in an even greater darkness. Look, we've got forgiveness here, conversation. Somebody wants forgiveness. They want to talk to you because they've been found unworthy. They've been working in the shadows. They've been found unworthy of this commitment. Because they're a third party. They're third party little hoe bags. They're just out there sexing everybody up. They're in this lustful energy, and their job is to get inside the physical temple and to place that lustful energy there and to get this demonic mindset. They want to infiltrate your mind with addictions, with lust, with all of this stuff, and they want you to be seen as that. So right now I feel that they are trying to portray this mother as though she is demonically possessed, and they want her to be evicted. They have to do this. She's about ready to read the article, and whoever reads the article is the real deal, and they know that. So they're desperate to get her to be seen as lustful or demonically possessed. They're overwhelmed by this detachment, feeling her absence. Their values are all about money, and they cannot separate her from love. They cannot separate her from this. This is what's going to provide people escape from this demonic entity. They're trying desperately to separate you from your love, from your kingdom spouse, from the love of yourself. They want you in lustful energy. And you're like, no, devil, I'm love. I'm not lust. They're making mistakes. There's unfinished business. Because you love yourself, your self-love, the way that you love yourself, you're not lustful. You're not out here masturbating to invisible thoughts about invisible people. You love yourself. You're up here in your heart space. And you will be reunited with your kingdom spouse. This is all going to be fixed. And these people are broken and shattered because they're out of time. This is going to be happening. Look, you're going to get the destiny. That's the responsible destiny. And these people have missed their opportunity for a soul contract, and they cannot get in your space. These who are on a passion project, they cannot get in your space. And it could be that they're going to be experiencing solitary confinement, where they cannot put this lustful energy on people anymore. They're a dim reflection. They're trying to mimic you, trying to mimic the mother, possibly the father too. They want him real bad, and they're lying, because the way you love is irreplaceable, and they're going to be feeling the damage from what they've been doing, and this is an unexpected outcome. Okay. So you're avoiding a tower because you have understanding. You have understanding. You know what these entities are doing. It's a fight. And it's important that you keep your house of flesh pure. Otherwise, they're going to get into the gates and they're going to mess everything up for you. Gates. Speaking of gates, that was the task of one in particular, was to have these gates open, was to inject stuff into people, which forced the gates to be open to this entity, these entities. So you're avoiding a tower because you have an understanding of what's going on here. And it's a conquest. They're trying to take you out with lust. Just another notch in the headboard. They want you to be seen as just another notch in the headboard. They want you to take on this personality. You have an understanding of it. This devil is trying to remove your hope for a beautiful kingdom union where people are led properly, into upliftment, into their own great destiny. These people are desperate to squash them back down and to take everything that belongs to them and then be seen as that. You're sitting here, you're standing up for yourself, and people are talking. Rocky road. It's been a very, very rocky road for you. It's been real rough. These people have been trying to get you into lust energy your whole freaking life. They don't want you to have love, which is why when you be intimate with somebody, that they turn on you and say, oh, well, you're not really this or that, right? And then they leave you heartbroken. And that has been the pattern, to break your heart, break your heart over and over again. People are talking about this empty vessel. They took your cup, and this says the truth is that you simply don't feel fulfilled. It's worth the wait to find true happiness. So people are gossiping. You're waiting. You're not falling into this lustful energy. They want you to go out there and be physically lustful with people, and you're not doing that. You have an understanding. In the recent past, we've got the star. They're trying to get the star to sabotage themselves, or maybe the star has caused them a sabotage, these people that operate in the dark. They're trying to get the star to sabotage themselves. Adrift. They want the star to mess up the good things in their life by latching onto this lustful energy. They're in fear here. They're having anxiety because you are coming into your life of luxury. Apparently, you are very, very wealthy. You have suffered so greatly that you have risen in the ranks exponentially, and you are very kind, very loving, and you might be kicking ass in a big way too. And they want that part of you to be seen as a devil, and it simply isn't. You are God's general, and you're out here setting things straight, and you are fierce. You're a lion. And these ones are liars, posing as. Broken. They're not able to break you. They're not able to break you. Why? This says they didn't keep the promises they made. They may break your heart, but not your spirit. You've mended this connection. You don't break your promises. What you say is true. There needs to be no contract or handshake or promise. What you say is true. You don't break your promises. You are reliable and trustworthy. And you got these other jackwagons out there trying to, spin it to say, oh, well, that's so-and-so. Oh, well, that's so-and-so. Well, the true divine doesn't do that. The true divine knows. And they don't need to convince a whole lot of people that that's the way it is. The true divine knows, and they're simply going to manage it. They don't need to have a following because they've got God on their side. The true divine mother, father are on their side, in there, working with them, through them. And you've got this devil trying to replace that, trying to convince the masses that it's the devil, when the devil is the one trying to do the convincing. So they're getting caught being malicious. They don't know what to do. Yeah, needs. They have needs, and their needs aren't being met. So they want, it could be that the rejuvenation of this star, the fact that you were able to climb up out of that dark hole of misery that they had you in, has sabotaged the chaff. They can no longer present themselves as this because you're out there shining authentically. Lost. Look. So we've got here, we've got this battle, this competition. It could be you're not running away from it and you're not going to lose. It's like these people, they're running now because you're not losing. You're working very, very hard and you're getting rid of these people who thought it was real funny to hurt love. Yeah, this is ending. I heard them out there trying to convince the people that this mother was demonically possessed. It's terrible. Long road. They're going to have a long road before they get what they want. It's not funny. The strength of two together is bringing an escape. They will escape this union. And they have to face it. The truth will set you free. Deep, deep love will set you free. You've got your 10 of Pentacles here. You got the home, the security. You're sharing it generously. And these people are out there trying to convince others that you're demonically possessed when you're giving of everything that you have earned through your struggles. You're giving it to the people. You're not holding on to it saying, this is mine. You're out there lovingly giving it. And people were very unsatisfied with the way things were going. And the truth is revealed about this. Burned. You've been hurt before. I really believe that these time traveling folks have been taking the seers and those who have great wealth coming to them, and they've been transporting them back in time once they screw up their identity enough. But you've been hurt. Yeah, many flames. Many flames. Many flames have been burned. And they're unsatisfied with the truth. The truth is that they have burned many flames for their inheritance. That's the secret. And what they have built on your energy, star and sun, is crumbling. They want an exit plan, and the exit plan is once again to steal your identity, to convince others that they are you and that you are them. And they need you to take on lustful energy. They need your mind to be afraid. They're going down. They're going down. Everything's in pieces, and they're having anxiety because you are fierce. You're fiercely protecting yourself. And they got caught up in that. They're like, whoa, what's happening? Yeah, you're leaving. And so are they. They're going into a freaking rabbit hole because everything that no longer serves you, or everything that you no longer need, is getting gone into the dark where it belongs, because they've been found guilty of causing struggle for people through identity theft. So you're avoiding a tower. You have an understanding of what's going on here. They're trying to get you into lustful energy. They want you to be seen as though you're just another notch in the headboard. Actions speak the loudest, okay? Are you out there sexing it up? No, God's people are celibate. Or they're in their union already. Look, you're stubborn in this conflict. You're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You want the devil wants this to be your stuff, and you're like, absolutely not, devil. You're going to have to take your little chosen one, your little false angelic being, and get out of the personality of this star. Your challenge is that there's a devil here trying to strip you of your hope for a divine union, and they're making it real hard. They want to give you a rocky road. You know, they're out there wearing their leopard print outfits and their military beret and all of this crap. Oh, I'm the warrior. Yeah, you're a false freaking angel. Blind. You may be blind. You may have vision problems. They want to make you blind. They don't want you to see. They don't want you to know. It could be that they've already done this in the past. Like I mentioned earlier with the tourmaline shards in the third eye. You know, you may not be able to see clearly, but you know who you are. And you're fighting for it. You're fighting to come all the way back Not just most of the way. You want to come all the way back. And they want to put you in lustful energy. You're fighting for this. People are gossiping about it. They're not fulfilled by this thing. They want to take these devils, their cup is empty. And you're waiting on this sexual activity because you want true happiness, and it's worth the wait. You're not just out there for sex. Sex is very, very shallow, okay? Very, very shallow. Lust is very, very shallow. It's not a good time. Triumph. It's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. You are going to triumph over this empty cup. Look, they have an empty cup. They need your wealth. They need your identity. Because the star has rejuvenated and is shining brightly, these chaff are being set adrift. They're going away. And they're in fear about it. A bully. They're a freaking bully. And they're being set adrift. They're out there, we're in this together. When it's just a freaking act. It's a script. And it's a lie for them because they're hoe bags. Wearing fancy outfits. Working magic and illusions. And they're professionals at it. They're having fear and anxiety regarding your wealth. And the fact that you have mended your connection with the people, and the fact that you don't break your promises. You do what you say you're going to do. They want you to be seen as demonically possessed so freaking bad. And they want to do that by dressing up in your energy and presenting themselves as that. And the other night, twice in the night, I had nearly all of my life force drained out of my body. It took a good 30 minutes to warm back up. They're using the energy of the angels, of the actual stars and suns, to present themselves as that right now. Look, withdrawal. Yeah, they're getting rejected. You don't break your promises. So whoever this is, they're going to get rejected. They can't break you. They can't break you. You're honest and true. And they're really desperately trying to flip this script. They're going to get caught here. 7 of Swords in the reverse. They don't know what to do. Their needs aren't being met. They have needs. They don't know what to do about their needs. They're fantasy. They're fantasizing about it. This sexual, they want to have this. These are disembodied clones. These are disembodied clones. They need, somebody mentioned that they need a nice warm body to be in because they're disembodied clones. So if the gates of the body are open, the flesh suit are open, then they're going to come in as this parasitical attachment, and they're going to try to drive your mind. And then they want you to be seen as that. Okay? So there is this competition for your identity. And you got a runner here that's not running anymore, and they're not going to lose. That's you. You may have at one point ran away from them. You might have been afraid because these are very scary beings. They're satanic. And they're being stopped. You're not going to lose this. They're going to be stopped. You're working with high standards here. You're working with very high standards for positive potential. You're getting rid of these people who were messing you up. They're going to have a long road ahead of them. It's like, no. It's not funny. This is not funny at all. You're not sick. They can't make you sick. They can't make you sick in the head. They can't make you sick in the body. The lovers are here. The strength of two together are going to escape because the truth is going to set them free. There's no protest here. They can't protest the truth. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And the fact is that you've got this wonderful inheritance. They're calling you a billionaire. You're like a soprano. You're like a soprano general in God's army. And these people are desperate to take you down. They're wearing their little berets, trying to present themselves as this in the 3D. It's really quite hilarious, you know. People are unsatisfied with the way things were going. The truth is revealed. These people are trying to take it, and they're trying to burn the stars. They want to take the energy of the stars, and they want to go away. And the fact of the matter is that the stars are shining so brightly that it's making these people nauseous. They're coming into your temple, and they're sick about it. They're sick, and they need that energy to be lessened. They need it to be sucked out. They need you in fear energy or in lust energy. They can't survive in this environment, especially when you're doing your parasitical cleanses. Once again, do your research and be careful. Fate. Stay relaxed. You're going to stay relaxed. You're going to keep your inner calm, and you're going to get your fate. This is yours. Your fate is to be calm and at peace. And these ones have a great idea of bringing you danger, but you're persevering through it. And there's a collaboration here in a marriage. You're collaborating with others in this marriage. You're not alone. You and your kingdom spouse are not alone. You've got a great community that are benefiting from your inheritance. You're not greedy. You don't want to hold on to it. You want to give it to others so that they have an opportunity to get in touch with their heart song and to elevate themselves according to the heart song that the divine has placed in them. And these devils are real serious about taking away that heart song of the people and the wealth that comes with it. Your alliances are going to confine them, because you are seen as self-love. You not only do you love yourself, everywhere you go, things are revitalized, flowers bloom, happiness is. You're going to get this real estate, and you're going to teach other people how to do that by memory, by what you've gone through. Everything you've gone through, you're going to teach it to the people, to the youngers. You're going to let them know, this is how you do it. See? These ones are in sorrow. They're in sorrow over this family that is going to run the show here, because they are kings and queens of that mountain. Their joy is worth saving. Their joy brings abundance to the community. And these people are stressed out about that. They're stressed out because the promise is here. You're connected. And they're overloaded and overwhelmed by this, because you are merit. You are a good moral person, and you're coming into your reward of eternal love. Love is not lust. Love is not lust. And this strategy is coming to an end for the prideful people who were bribed to try to come and get your gifts. Okay? Your prayer is going to be answered. Justice will be served. And you will gain your life force, your new family tree. And this is the conclusion. You're going to be sweet dreaming soon. Okay? Just don't give up. Just don't give up. And be prepared. The Divine Mother said to be prepared. They won't survive. You gotta fight for it, though. You can't fall into lust. You can't fall into fear. You can't let your mind race with these horrible things that they're trying to implant into you. Those who are dreaming about your life are going to fall into a trap, because you're getting aid. You're getting mercy. The divine is reaching down and pulling you back up. They're like, no, hell no, this is my daughter. This is my son. And those who are bound to their commitments, they don't know what to do. They're hesitating now, because you lived and you learned and you know what's going on. They're getting burned by many flames. They want these flames out, and they're in fright. They're in fright. These many flames are shining so brightly out there. And I saw a woman, she was like, she's like, you got to do something. And she was waving at me. You got to do something. She can't take it. The light is making her sick. It's making her want to vomit. And you're not going to dim your light with lust. You're not going to dim your light with anger. You're not going to dim your light with fear. You're going to rise up and you're going to move through it. Be gentle with yourself when you do your parasitical cleanses. They are probably, if you are feeling depressed or defeated, these are Satan's infiltrations, and they're trying desperately to control your mind and your energy. So you're not in a tower. Things are real stormy here. You're going to delay disaster. These people have a fear of change, and you understand what's going on here. They want to drop you into just another notch in the headboard. They want you to be seen as lustful. While they dress up, while they siphon your essence, your angel fire, and wear it, pretending to be you. Okay, you're stubborn in this conflict. You're like, oh, hell no, Satan. You get out of my house. Your house of flesh, your temple. Peace. In the reverse, these are not beings of love. They're trying to take away your peace. They're trying to get you to be seen as another notch in the headboard. They want to place this lustful energy onto you. You got to do your spiritual cleanses every night. Every night. Your challenge is this devil trying to remove your hope for a kingdom spouse, a kingdom union. It's been a very rough road for you, and you may have been blind. You may not be able to see in every dimension because, like I said, those tourmaline shards in the third eye, they have shut people down in every way they know how. Blockages on the heart, blockages on the throat, blockages on the third eye, seals upon the crown. I had a vision some time ago where my head had been wrapped in red cloth and somebody was taking it off of me. Change. So your challenge, you got to move forward. Whether you're blind or not, you're moving forward into this. You're standing up for yourself. You've got protection. People are talking about it. You triumph over the empty cup successfully because you are a being of love, and you know that there's no greater goal than to love, and you're not falling into lust. It's not about sex for you. It's about heart-to-heart union. The star has been rejuvenated. The star has elevated into their true natural status. And that means that those chaff, these weed seeds, have sabotaged themselves. They're being sabotaged. They're being seen as bullies. They're coming in, dressing up in your light, a powerful angelic fire. They're stealing it while you sleep. If you're getting cold at night, it's because they're taking your angelic fire and they're dressing up in it. And they're doing things with it. They're doing horrible things with it, trying to mimic God's wrath. And they're trying to do it at the same time, say that you are demonically possessed. And they know that that's not true. I've heard people talk in the court system that they're very happy with what the mother is doing. They're very happy with her generosity. She's not faking it. She's not keeping it for herself. She wants the community to be raised. She wants the children, the youngers, to have their opportunity to be connected to the divine and bloom with the song that has been placed within them. You're getting adversity for this. Honesty. You don't break your promises. What you say is what it is. You're not lying. Everything you say is true. While the whole world around you may be lying, you know that what's coming forth from you is true, and you intend for it to remain that way. And I really feel that these others are going to be rejected because of that. They're going through withdrawals. They're going through withdrawals. They're dependent upon the light of you, star and sun. And they want the most powerful ones. They got to take out the most powerful masculine and feminine so that they can take over that role. They're going to get caught being deceitful. They don't know what to do. They've got needs here that they're fantasizing about, and they want yours. Death. They can't bring an ending to you. They want to cause you a death, and they're not going to be able to do it. Why? Because you're not running from this conflict. The runner isn't running anymore. You may have at once been fearful, but you're not afraid anymore, and you're not going to lose. Instead, you're going to stop these people, and the community is going to help you because they know the truth. They know the deceit. You're not demonically possessed. You've got doppelgangers out there that are very powerful illusionists that are trying to make it seem that way while they harvest the energy of the actual flames. You're working with high standards to remove those who think it's funny to hurt you. And it's a long, long road. You've got a long, long road coming where you're not going to be sick. You're not going to be sick at all. We've got forgiveness here. So God, or the divine masculine, the strongest one here, is he's not playing. He's offering loopholes. If people's minds have been manipulated like they're trying to do right now, he's saying, look, you're going to get forgiveness for that, and you get to have this long, long road, because we're not just going to punish you for being a puppet. You know, if you didn't have evil intent in your heart. So the strength of these two together is going to offer an escape because the truth is known and people cannot protest this. It's the way it is. They're honorable and honest and true, and they don't break their promises. But you got folks out here being so damn deceitful right now. Look, you're not guilty. They can't protest it. You're not guilty. They want you to be seen as that. We've got your inheritance here. You've got your 10 of Pentacles. You're sharing it with the world. The truth is revealed. You know, folks are unsatisfied with the way things are going. Or maybe these devils, are unsatisfied that the truth has been revealed. They're like, oh crap, the truth is out. Oh no. And the truth is that they have been burnt, or they're getting burned by many flames. They're getting burned by many flames, and they got to try to douse those flames. They want these flames to be seen as demonic so that they can put them out. They're frightened. They're afraid because it's making them sick. They can't survive in this energy. So they're draining you of your life force to try to make it be seen as though you are dim, as though you aren't who you say you are. But you're this star. You're the revitalizer. You're popping back with it. You're popping back with it. And they can't stop it. It's who you are. Pride. We've got prideful people. Prideful people coming up against your discipline are being denied. Because you see who they are. You see both sides of people. You feel them. And you're calling judgment on them. They have to surrender their need to control you. You're the star. They're afraid of you, of your happy energy. Because your happy energy brings about love, brings about abundance, brings about a whole bunch of light. This powerful angelic fire. And they can't survive in it. Your balance brings harmony, and they're worried about it. They don't want harmony. They want to dominate people and keep them in chaos. They're envious of your humor. They're envious of your good nature, and they want to bring you adversity. They want to drop you into fear. They want to drop you into fear and anger. They want you to spin with it. They want you to wrap it up in your energy and claim that as your own. But you trust the inner divine. He who says lust will be your downfall, you trust God. God isn't going to lie to you. These people are in grief. They're in grief because you have an abundance of friends, and these friends have skills, man, big skills, and they can manifest whatever they want in this world. And they're thankful for love. They know that when they are alone, they're never alone because their divine walks with them. They possess gifts of the soul that benefit themselves and others. They persevere through this challenge, and everybody gains their freedom. Everybody gains their freedom with courage. Now, look, people can choose fear. They can certainly choose fear. They can believe these people when they say they're demonically possessed, blah, 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 blah. You can choose fear. You can say, oh no. You can choose fear, and you can condemn those who are here trying to give you benefit, trying to give you of themselves. And you got to ask yourself if what you have received is the truth. Is it what these people say it is? Is it demonic? Does it feel bad? Does it make you fear? Does it make you unsettled? Or does it make you happy? Does it bring you peace? You have to ask yourself this question, because they're desperately trying to change your perception with illusions. With that, I'm going to end this read. I'll see you on the next one.